I've installed this new Schneider compact easy9 consumer unit as part of a project to tidy up a solar battery installation for a client. The solar guys left quite an untidy spaghetti arrangement of cables all over the garage wall, and they installed two new circuits in a two-way garage unit that had their incorrect MCB. They had an unnecessary RCD which they were using as a main switch, and that conflicted with the integral RCD in the inverters for the solar and for the battery that's down below, and they were all contrary to the manufacturer's instructions. The client also wants an EV circuit installed, and there are no spare ways on the existing 8-way wireless board or the garage unit that was here next to it. They also asked for additional sockets in the garage to replace a multitude of training plugs and extensions that were running data and monitoring devices, and also a chest freezer. So the solution in the end was to add a second board, install it with the correct MCBs, RCBOs, put in the right cables and tidy up the control cables, Ethernet and CT data cables. I also had to upgrade the incoming tails, which was 16mm, and upgrade them to 25mm. So the compact Schneider was the consumer unit solution for this project, but it was only a part of the overall project required in this installation. The board itself fitted well into the available space after I moved some other equipment around. There's plenty of room behind the bus bar to run cables, and the off-centre bus bar leaves a lot of room up top for full height RCBO wiring. The two rear knockouts in the box are very large and they're well placed for incoming cables, but because this was put directly onto the wall, I couldn't use those. I did find that the side and top bottom knockouts were not ideally placed or sized. The top and bottom each have 120, 225 and 232 knockouts. You can see here there are two 32mm knockouts on the left and the right hand sides. I had to reroute quite a lot of cables and extend two of the circuits in the trunking here. The wiring was clipped to the walls running the trunking. The Schneider is approximately 10 inches high, so it was easily able to accommodate two lengths of 100mm trunking at the side, so I could bring in cables and the new tails over to the new position. What I did find that the two fits 32mm knockouts were not quite where I wanted them, so I used an arm egg accelerate to cut holes and bring in the circuit cables where I wanted them in the side. But that apart, everything fitted well. Now, the main switch can be fitted on the left or the right hand side, and I fitted it over to the left here, leaving the surge protection out far left. The neutral strapper that's provided will not stretch right up to the top right hand corner where the neutral bar is, but you can connect it further over on the neutral bar inside. There are labels for relabelling the neutral bar provided with this Schneider. Looking inside the consumer unit itself, there was plenty of room for some quite hefty 6mm cables, as well as putting one CT clamp to monitor the solar. There is still room just for a couple of extra circuits if they're ever needed. And now the box itself is square, as you can see. It lacks the easy9 rounded corners, but the front panel lid is rounded and it does maintain that Schneider look. The bus bar is very simple, a single straight bar. Overall, it's a good little 10-way consumer unit, and I can think of other customers who have asked for a new consumer unit where this will be a good choice for them, especially where I can bring in the cables from the rear.